Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God, take it! 1, 2,
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I'm Josh Maber, along with my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today?
I'm feeling good. It's like my boy Drew McIntyre's still killing it.
Mm-hmm. That he is.
He's killing it.
That he is. Well, unfortunately, we have to start off on a kind of a somber note because our girl Shotzi.
Yeah.
She's joining Charlotte Flair, who's on track to come back quicker. She keeps at least promoting it like she's going to be coming back quicker.
She's looks like she's had a schedule that she's been posting clips of her workouts to rehab her ACL and everything. She's looking good.
Yeah. Well, just kind of tell us a little bit of what unfortunately happened with our girl Shotzi.
Yeah. All right. So it was set up. We'll mention it again when we get to NXT. But on this week's episode of NXT, Shotzi showed up, said that she wanted to challenge Lyra Valkyria to an NXT Women's Title match, and that she had gotten the okay via HBK via Ava, and Lyra was fine with that. Now, you're wondering, well, wait a minute, if she's wrestling next week, why is she injured out? Well, it's because they were taping. 2 episodes. They were doing 2 episodes. They were taping next week's episode after the live show this week. So when they were taping the next week's episode during the match, Shotzi unfortunately got injured. Spot what she was doing. So I don't know the details. It's just that it was a knee injury. Probably when she went down doing a move, and she had to be helped to the back. And it was during the match, and so they basically called an audible and had someone else come out to wrestle Lyra to finish out the thing rather than just scrapping the whole thing. So you'll see all the details when that episode airs next week. So that sucks for Shotzi. Hopefully it's not too serious, that she's not going to miss too much time. It's like that would suck. So she's kind of been getting a little bit more momentum. It's like, she got to be on the Survivor Series team with Becky, Bianca, and Charlotte. We got a good deal of focus. She was, worn with Damage Control, and now she was slated to be one of the qualifying matches for the Women's Elimination Chamber for the pay-per-view. But Nick Aldis yesterday went on social media, confirmed the injury, and that she's not going to be able to compete on Smackdown tomorrow. So he switched things around. Alba Fire, one half of the Unholy Union, former NXT UK Women's Champion, is going to be taking her place, but he's also switching around the matches because originally it was supposed to be Shotzi versus Tiffany and Zelina versus Naomi. Now he switched it to where Zelina is going to wrestle Tiffany Stratton and Alba Fire is going to wrestle Naomi in the qualifying matches on SmackDown on Friday.
So Tiffany and Naomi go to the Elimination.
I think it's pretty much going to be Tiffany and Naomi. I think you can lock those in because Tiffany just got called up there. She's getting, it's like they're high on her. She's getting the push, and Naomi just came back, so she's going to get pushed. So it's like, unfortunately, now they one of them may still get in because they're doing that's only going to fill 5 out of the 6 spots after those 2 matches are done because Becky, Liv, and Bianca are already in. Right. So if Tiffany and Naomi win, that's 5. So the final spot will be determined between the losers. They're going to put all the women who lost the qualifiers into like a mini battle royal on Raw, and whoever wins that will get the final spot and be the 6th person in the chamber.
I wouldn't mind Zelina getting that spot. I'd like to see her in a chamber.
So if that happens, like it, now there's rumors, including an update to WWE.com that was quickly removed that showed that Jade was going to get that final spot, but word is that they may have changed that because of the leak. And also, I on one hand I could understand wanting to add as much star power to Elimination Chamber in Australia, but you do not want to put Jade in this match because that means Jade's got to take a pinfall. And you don't want to do that to her right now.
No.
So putting her in the chamber would be a really stupid idea because that means she's got to go down, and you don't want her being pinned or submitted right now. It's like, especially after her Rumble performance, it's like that would be a gigantic mistake.
All right.
I think they realize that, and so who knows who the sixth person is going to be? We'll find out.
Guess there's only one thing left to do. Roxanne Perez, it's your time, girl. You got in there. You got it. You got to put the gold goose in there.
She's got other beef.
She was great on it.
She's on a mission because when she found out about Shotzi getting the title shot ahead of her, wasn't happy. She was not happy.
As they say,
we'll get into more of that, and when we talk about NXT, because our girl's not taking BS right now, man.
No. But as they say in Blues Brothers, she's on a mission from God.
She's on a mission to get that rematch.
Yeah.
I told you that was a storyline.
It doesn't matter. No, it should not be a storyline. The storyline should be no one beats Roxanne. That's the storyline. But no, here we are having to actually have like decent drama and stuff like that. No, I don't want drama. I just want her to be on top of the mountain and never come off.
She's working her she's working to get that rematch. I told you.
Right. I know. Moving on.
No, this sucks for Shotzi.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not serious. She's not going to miss. Hopefully it's just like a minor injury. That's not going to keep her out for like months at a time because that would suck for her.
Right. And then moving on, I don't think we talked before the show during our prep. I don't think we talked about it, so we'll bring it up again. If we did, whatever, we're going to repeat it. But it's confirmed that Okada is all elite as far as his signings. So that means they've got 2 major signings. Tony, don't mess this up. Is all I have to say.
No. Yeah. So Sunrise staff put out a report saying that with their sources, they've confirmed that Okada is going to go to AEW. WWE was in the mix. They made Okada an offer, but he decided to go with the AEW offer from what they're saying. So it's only a matter of time before he appears. Don't be surprised if he also debuts in the Boston Dynamite Big Business along with Mercedes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we'll talk about it. We were talking about when's Ospreay going to make his full-time AEW debut. Well, we found out last night on Dynamite.
Yeah, it was confirmed.
So he's got a match at the pay-per-view, and we'll go into that detail later. So Ospreay is going to be making his full-time debut at the pay-per-view, and it makes sense because that's going to draw in the ratings at this point because people already, even though he didn't say Mercedes is coming, all the signs, it's literally the dollar signs are telling you that she's signed and she's going to debut. So he's done the 1-2 punch before, so why not do it again? That'll get people to tune in. So
yeah. But I'm interested to see. I mean, like I said, we talked about before with Okada, it's like it's the same kind of like the Will Ospreay type of thing. Like he's already got that familiarity with not only the roster, with like the Young Bucks and stuff like that.
But also the AEW fans. Yeah.
But he's also worked with AEW.
Yeah.
So that it's the familiarity. Like sometimes it just as like the wrestling fan, would I've liked to see what WWE could do with them? Sure.
Oh yeah, it would have been cool.
But still being able to see Okada on weekly television instead of having to look at highlights or find the link to stuff like that. But it just stinks now because Kenny Omega is on the shelf and they just got Okada and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, we don't know when Kenny's in the. It's like Tony was asked recently how Kenny's doing. He says he's doing better, but it's like he was a couple steps away from dying if he hadn't gone to the hospital.
Right.
It's like they're trying to get to the point where he can't even have the surgery. It's like, from what I've heard, last I heard, it may be a couple months before we see Kenny again, which will suck.
Well, get well soon, Kenny, because the dream triple threat of Okada, Will Ospreay, and you was amazing.
That's it's like because Kenny is gonna have no problem reigniting his Ospreay feud because those guys have had just banger matches every time. Like their Wembley match last year was just insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the last little thing we'll talk about, not really big news stuff today, is Grayson. We know what's going to go on, which I don't know how I feel about it, but Grayson Waller is going to do his show at the Elimination Chamber with Seth and Cody. Yeah, this is kind of actually has big implications because you don't just have Cody and Seth just on Grayson Waller's talk show for no friggin' reason. I mean, on the one hand, it's obvious that even though Grayson's not going to have a match, he's Australian, so they're going to be able to let him be an Elimination Chamber to be in front of his home country fans, just like Rhea. So this smells like something's going to happen during this segment for the Mania build. It's like it just reeks of it. It's like Cody and Seth. It's like what's going to happen? Something's going to happen. Yeah, you're not just going to be all hunky dory and just cut a couple promos and then leave. Like not at eliminate. You're not going to do this randomly at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
it's just like the KO show with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. They're just going to talk. It's like no. We know what's going to happen. With that.
Everyone knew it. Yeah, it's like everyone was like, it's not just going to be the KO show. It's like everybody knew that it's like KO and Stone Cold were to throw down. Right. It's like it was just a matter of just how it was going to happen.
Yeah, and Stone Cold did ask Stone Cold about basically him and CM Punk, and he was like, I'm do it. I can't do a Stone Cold impression, but still,
basically said, hey, if they ask me, I'm game. He said he goes, it's like he likes Punk a lot, and because they definitely teased the possibility way back in time when he was last on the roster. He and Stone Cold butted heads when Stone Cold, I think, was like guest hosting. Mm-hmm. And so that's the dream match some people would still like to see, like Rock Roman. So you never knew.
Nope. You never say never, as they say in the business.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Also, Minneapolis might be the front runner, but Vegas, don't leave Vegas out for WrestleMania 41.
Yeah. And also, like I was telling Josh before we started, there's also rumors that Nashville is also in the running for a future Mania. So fingers crossed for my buddy here for Mania to come to his city.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely can do it. Okay. It's just what's that old saying is like Nashville isn't ready. Yes, we are. We're ready. I don't care what you say. We're like Las Vegas isn't ready for me. Yes, they are. Okay, they've been ready.
Because Mania coming to your city equals big money, big business for that city.
Yeah,
It's been a proven thing, especially the last couple of years especially with Mania expanding to 2 nights. So that's it's like you're filling the arena not for 1 night but 2 nights. So that's even better.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for the best with that sooner than later.
Yep.
On that. I mean, we did SummerSlam before, so doesn't mean we can't do. If we can do SummerSlam, we can do WrestleMania. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for the news. Anything else you want to cover before we move on to SmackDown?
No. I think that's it. Nothing else major popped up that I saw. Just about there's people still speculating about Drew's contract status and one other thing. Almost forgot. Former pro football player and WCW wrestler Steve Mongo McMichael. He's in the hospital currently. So years ago, he was diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's gotten to the point where it's like he's pretty much almost completely paralyzed. It's like he can like move his mouth and his eyes a little bit, and his head, but that's about it. The only way he can communicate is by software and using his eyes to, select like what to have the computer say. So he was just this past weekend. He was informed that he's finally going to go into the NFL Football Hall of Fame, something that he's wanted for a long time, and that a lot of his fellow Hall of Fame players he played with, like Richard Dent and many others, have been pushing for this. Mike Singletary as well, because they're really close with him. And also Ric Flair is also pretty close with him because of the time, because he was a member of the Horsemen for a while in WCW. Yeah. There was a segment about it during the Super Bowl about, his struggle with ALS. And, it's like his wife has basically said that it's like the thing that's been keeping alive is like he wants to go into the Hall of Fame before he passes. Because It's like it's only a matter of time before he's on borrowed time right now. Yeah. And unfortunately now he's in the hospital with pneumonia, which with his current state, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Because because I saw the segment, it was aired before the Super Bowl. They were hoping that he'd be able to make it to actually be at Canton for the induction ceremony. It's like, but that was a long shot. And Ric Flair was also talked to besides Singletary and them. It's like, it's like because he's kept up touch with them and seeing how he's doing. So yeah. So thoughts and prayers out to the McMichael family. That's like we'll see if he can pull through.
Yeah, I just always remember him on commentary with the little puppy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all the time with that. But yeah, no, congratulations. Well, obviously needed to, well earned. He's
like third all time in sacks for his linebacker position. It's like all time. It's like he was it's like people forget. It's like because people from my generation remember him from his time in WCW as a wrestler. But it is like he was a hell of a football player for the Bears for it's like a long time. It was part of the Super Bowl winning team. So he was pretty. He definitely had the personality that fit wrestling. That's why I think he got into it. It's like wasn't the best wrestler in the world. It's like, but I always thought he was entertaining.
Yeah, he definitely had the personality for sure. So. And as a defensive tackle, to have that many sacks is, especially that area.
Yeah, it's like 94.5 sacks, I think. It's something. It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's why Aaron Donald is like looked upon as like, you're a defensive tackle, and he's just that good.
Aaron Donald's not that far behind him.
No,
I think he's like in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's move on to SmackDown.
Hey everybody, here I am with a recap of last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, the follow-up from the WrestleMania press conference in Vegas. So the show opened with Triple H coming out, along with GMs Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Triple H addressed what happened at the WrestleMania press conference, basically making it clear that even though The Rock is on the board, he doesn't call the shots around in WWE. He does. And as far as and he's made the decision that it will be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the WWE title at WrestleMania 40. And after that, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce announced that to determine who will face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, there will be a men's Elimination Chamber match in Australia with competitors from both Raw and SmackDown. They announced the 12 men who would be in the qualifying matches to determine who will be in the chamber. Drew McIntyre is one of them, who came out just before his qualifying match against AJ Styles. He took shots at CM Punk, and also took credit for Cody choosing to finish his story at Mania, and he vowed that he'd save the world title by beating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania after he wins the Elimination Chamber. Well, Drew got one step closer to that because he defeated AJ Styles in the first Elimination Chamber qualifying match, with unintentionally thanks to a little help from LA Knight, who was at commentary at ringside. He and AJ got into it, which distracted AJ long enough for Drew to hit him with the Claymore for the victory. For the women's elimination chamber match, qualifying matches continue to determine who will face Rhea for the world title at Mania. Bianca Belair defeated Michin Mia Yim to earn her spot in the women's chamber match. Then we had Bayley coming out to cut a promo about challenging Io for the WWE Women's title at WrestleMania. The dissolution of Damage Control as it was. Dakota Kai came out to talk to Bayley. Bayley confronted her about what happened last week, and Dakota finally, after a bit, admitted that she knew that Io and company were planning on turning on Bayley and kicking her out of Damage Control, and didn't know how to tell her, making it clear that her loyalties in the situation are torn. Io, Asuka, and Kairi Sane came out to attack Bayley. It looked like Dakota would side with them and help them out with a steel chair, but she chose to help Bayley fend off the other three, and the two had a tense stare down afterwards. Then in a number one contenders match, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate defeated DIY. They will challenge the Judgment Day for the tag team titles at Elimination Chamber. And in the main event, Randy Orton defeated Sami Zayn in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Drew McIntyre came out and had a stare down with Orton as both men are looking to win the Chamber as the show came to an end. So that's all the major happenings that happened on this week's, last week's Friday Night SmackDown.
DIY? No.
I know it was like my heart was hurt. I know knew only one of them could win. But if we'll see what happens. I don't know if Judgment Day is going to drop the title just yet, but if anyone's going to, the only other team I'd be okay with winning the titles from them besides DIY right now would be British Strong Style, because those guys rule. But because I'd hate for DIY to get another rematch with them and lose again just so quickly. So the only part I have to complain is that the match was like barely 10 minutes. Like you
right.
That's criminal. You cannot. You got to give those guys like at least 15 or more minutes to fucking cut. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It was fine for what it was, but yeah, 10 minutes. That was just okay.
I love Tyler Bate pulling like a Claudio, where like he's swinging one of them, and he's got I think Johnny on top of shoulders for an airplane spin while swinging Ciampa at the same time.
Yeah.
This is why I love the big strong one for spots like that. It's like that's why Tyler Bates also. Yeah,
him and Pete Dunne. Plus, they have that chemistry. But I'm interested to see if they actually how much they put to this build into Elimination Chamber. I'll be interested to see. That's how you know if they're trying to really invest into Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, well, even though they lost, they're still kind of the mix is what goes with what happened on Raw and stuff.
They got rebranded on Raw thanks to R-Truth.
R-Truth thinks they're DX.
Yeah. Jesus.
Which, if you think about it, is kind of a very nice nod to the two of them, because Triple H and HBK love those two very much. So them to be, in fact, Johnny tweeted out a rebranded shirt where it's a DIY, it's DIX. He's like, wait, is this a legit thing that we can have in the shop? WWE?
Right.
So he was playing with it.
Yeah. The Drew AJ Styles, LA Knight is just so natural. Like that was some entertaining guest commentary that he was doing. Everything flowed well. The match was great. I don't get the AJ. What are they fighting for? Like what's the end game there with LA Knight?
Yeah, I get why AJ was mad at LA Knight first, because it made sense in being like, it's like hey, shithead, you after I got injured, you had no problem stealing my spot and getting the tag with Cena to hurt the bloodline. That was supposed to be me until the bloodline fucked me over. But I think it needs a little more than that. I think it's got to the point where he just doesn't like LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think it's got to the point where even though they're both babyface, they just don't like each other. Mm-hmm. Who knows where this is going there? Especially since AJ didn't return the interference favor on Raw.
That was surprising.
logically you would have thought, well, then he'll cost LA Knight his spot in the Elimination Chamber. And then, they'll have a match at Elimination Chamber. Well, it's like, does it look like that? Are they going to try to extend it to Mania? I mean, a match between them would be awesome, but I'd rather see AJ and LA Knight do other things, especially LA Knight at least be in like a title picture contention. Like we talked about, Logan Paul or something would be a better spot for him. But who knows? We'll see because this feud between AJ and LA Knight is just heating up at this point.
Yeah. Also, is Dakota going to set up for a second, like out of nowhere turn?
That's a good question. I saw a lot of people wondering, like, is she really siding? Is she really siding with Bayley, or is she like doing like some kind of like double agent long con? That would be a little convoluted. But I get why the tension makes sense because of just like Dakota's history. You look back at Dakota's history in NXT, like. When she first turned heel, nobody saw it coming.
Mm-mm.
When she turned on her former best bud Tegan Knox in the middle of a War Games match.
Yeah,
which was pretty wild because not only did she turn around and attack Tegan and took her out of the match, Regal took her out of the match, and Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae were left to fend against in a 2-on-4 handicap War Games match against Shayna Baszler's team, and somehow Rhea and Candice still won the match. It's like that's one of my favorite NXT War Games matches because it's just like you're like, how the hell? It's like there's no way Rhea and Candice can win. They're it's like they're outnumbered 4-2, and they did.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because it's Rhea and Candice is an indie queen basically, so. She's kind of, I guess they just don't want to do anything with her anymore with Candice. I was expecting her to do a lot when she got to WWE, and she's just been there.
She hasn't got to do much. I mean, I think there's an opportunity for her to be able to do more because now that she's her and Indy are tag teaming again, at least it gives them something that it puts them into the women's tag division, kind of help build it up. So, I'm gonna wait and see. It's like they've been featured on Raw. They're obviously in the title discussion picture. So we shall see what. So let's see. As far as like the other stuff, I mean, I like the opening with Triple H and them laying out everything. I love Triple H playing like it's like at Rock. I don't. It's like without saying it, basically he was like, Rock, I don't give a fuck if you're on the board of directors. I call the shots here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Rock and Roman are going to say on SmackDown tomorrow, because they've obviously they're going to start pulling some shenanigans. I have a feeling. Yeah. I don't think it's like he's going to like be able to like undo the match completely, but there's going to be some wrinkles. He's probably going to pull some strings as being on the board of directors kind of thing. So it's like we'll see.
Yeah. One thing too with that, I love the jab at The Rock where he was just like, some people are not a fan of my decision, but the fact is, it doesn't matter what you.
Yeah, using The Rock's own catchpace against him was a nice move. That's a classic Triple H move.
But the one thing is like, why is Aldis and Adam Pearce got to be buddy this episode? Like, come on, get the tension back.
I think it will because they're still fighting over Braun, and they're definitely going to be fighting over Jade.
Some people are going out there for Braun to get back the Steiner name when he goes to the roster. I'm like, Braun Breaker's name is. I'm fine with it, but also Braun Breaker is not bad.
I think Braun Breaker is still a fine name. It's like as long as they like acknowledge like he's the son of Rick Steiner and that it's like Scott Steiner's his uncle. It's like his pedigree. I think he'll be fine. It's like I've gotten used to the Braun Breaker name. It's like it's all that matters is he's a badass.
What are they going to do with Sammy?
I think it's a storyline. Him losing so much lately, it's leading toward him getting something big. Okay, it's definitely going somewhere. I trust Triple H's storytelling in this regard because it definitely feels like it's going somewhere.
Yeah, he wouldn't have cut that one promo of him sitting in the stands about being a champion and stuff like that, and then turn around and not be an Elimination Chamber or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Like, I'm thinking it's going somewhere. That's why I was asking, like, where exactly are we going? Because we're going somewhere.
Yeah. When I saw that Bianca was taking on Mia Yim in a qualifying match, I'm like, well, that sucks for Mia because there's no way Bianca's not going to be in the chamber match.
At least she's on television. That's about it right now.
But she may still sneak in. She's going to be in the Last Chance Battle Royal, so who knows?
Yeah.
But they had a good match while it lasted.
Yeah. No, Mia's, like I said, we're here very pro Mia show. So
and Orton and Sammy had a good main event too. Did like to tease the stare down between Orton and Drew because of their history. It's like they got some very ugly history. That like I really unlike some people, I really enjoyed their WWE title feud when Drew was champion back in 2020. They had some pretty good matches. Hell in a Cell was kind of okay. My favorite was the ambulance match they had.
Yeah, the ambulance match was pretty solid with that. So overall, pretty. I mean, with the opening promo and everything like that, it was pretty solid show.
It was a solid show. I know some people were probably hoping Roman and Rock would be there, but no, they decided to save them for this week.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow, people.
Yeah, and
Paul Heyman is Roman Reigns and The Rock.
Because Heyman, yeah, and also very interesting. The Heyman stuff with Braun was intentional because if you remember last year when they did the big NXT episode that was going up against Dynamite, where they loaded all the main roster stars, Paul Heyman showed that he was a big fan of Braun Breaker and was Roman allowed him to be in Braun Breaker's corner for he was having a match against Carmelo. Carmelo had John Cena as his second. It was a NXT title match last year. So Heyman's already shown that he's pretty high on Braun Breaker. So potential future client once the bloodline falls apart.
I mean, they gave him Brock Lesnar's spot. Makes sense. If you think about it. So
I mean, I like it'd be cool to see him be his manager, but he doesn't need Heyman to do all talking because Braun's gotten pretty. He's not like the best on the mic, but he's gotten pretty good. He's gotten pretty decent, especially working off Corbin. Has definitely helped his mic skills. So we shall see.
When we get to the NXT review, I'm going to cash my check in on backing Baron Corbin. Okay, how many shows have been like? I was like telling you, dude, Baron's solid in the ring. He just hasn't had the right structure around him. But when it's going to work, it will work. Guess what, guys? We're going to talk about it on NXT because it's working. Long story short.
Yeah.
On that. All right. That's about it for SmackDown. Let's move on to Raw and that freaking awesome Seth Rollins promo.
All right. Here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee hyped up the show as they showed Cody Rhodes arriving in the arena earlier. And no opening promos. We went right to the opening match, 6-man tag. The New Day, along with Jey Uso, took on all of Imperium, Gunther, Giovanni Vinci, and Kaiser. Face picked up the victory with Jey Uso hitting his top rope splash on Giovanni to pick up the victory. He and Gunther really got into it during the match, which was really cool. Then we had more qualifying matches for the men's Elimination Chamber match. Bobby Lashley from SmackDown defeated Bronson Reed of Raw. This surprise since Bronson Reed is from Australia. So there's probably reasons why he won't be able to do Elimination Chamber. We'll see. Unless there's a last man qualifying match like for the women's. Then after that, we had Cody Rhodes come out to do a promo talking about what happened at the press conference and his confrontation with The Rock and Roman Reigns after he decided to challenge Roman for the title at Mania and made it clear to Rock that he's not afraid of him and that since The Rock laid hands on him, he will be hitting back in the near future. Seth Rollins then came out, told Cole he understood why he decided to challenge Roman and not him at Mania, and said that if he's going to do this, he really needs to win and defeat Roman this time, or else things are going to be very dark for WWE if Roman continues to be champion. He also says that the problem is that this time he's not dealing with just Roman and the bloodline, but now they got The Rock on their side, and that makes things even more difficult. And he basically offered to have Cody's back and to be his shield, so to speak, in this fight going into WrestleMania. He left, and Cody pondered the offer as the segment ended. Jey Uso then found out in a backstage interview that he will finally get a title shot against Gunther for the Intercontinental title next week on Monday Night Raw. Then we had another women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Liv Morgan defeated Zoe Stark to earn a spot in the chamber alongside Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair so far. In the back, Damian Priest made it clear to R-Truth he never was and never will be a member of the Judgment Day. Last week was not initiation. It was a beatdown. But tonight, his match against JD McDonough is going to be an execution. And that led right into the match. JD McDonough picking up a victory over R-Truth. The Judgment Day all got in the ring and did a big beatdown on Truth once again after the match. But this time, DIY ran out to make the save with some steel chairs. Miz was not there, although Truth tried to call him on the phone before the match to see if he could be there, even though he's at home in LA. That's Truth for you. Cody Rhodes met up with Sami Zayn backstage, told Sami appreciates his support lately and that feelings mutual. He believes in Sami Zayn, and so did the fans. Sami appreciated that and gave Cody a hug. Then we had Becky Lynch coming out to cut promo about talk about the road to WrestleMania, about having to explain things to her 3-year-old daughter about her and her dad getting all roughed up and stuff they have to deal with, and made it clear that she intends to win the Elimination and get that title shot at Mania, and did a little lemonade toast to Rhea's title reign for how much longer it's going to last. Nia Jax came out and said that she got pretty emotional over hearing what Becky said about relating to her daughter and setting expectations, and complimented her on that, but told her that she won't be seeing Rhea at WrestleMania if she wins the Elimination Chamber, because she's going to take Rhea out and win the title, and so she'll see her at WrestleMania, not Rhea. Rhea came out to attack Nia, all pissed off after what's been happening the last few weeks. Now I get into it with both Becky and Rhea, and Becky and Rhea took turns fending off Nia Jax to send her out of the ring, and Becky and Rhea had another intense stare down to close out the segment. Then we had LA Knight defeating Ivar in another Elimination Chamber qualifying match to earn himself a spot in the match. And then finally we had our main event. This was set up by Shinsuke interrupting a pre-taped interview with Sami Zayn that was shown earlier in the show. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Sami Zayn in the main event thanks to some distraction from Drew McIntyre. Came out to ringside. He and Sami are still butting heads. And after the match, Drew came in the ring and helped Shinsuke start beating down Sami. And this prompted Cody Rhodes to come out to make the save. And they fought off the heels to close out the show. So that's all that happened this week on Monday Night Raw.
If Seth Rollins could cut this promo like every week, it'd be the best show ever. Like
Yeah,
that was so. It was like I messaged you like as soon as I saw it. So like this is well, there was a bunch of us in our Discord. Shout out to Discord guys, join if you want to.
Yep.
But we were basically just like Seth. Like it was just everyone was just like that promo was nuts, and with the Shield and basically and him saying like it's my fault, like that Roman is the way he is, and then someone went to their Royal Rumble match. I think it was a Rumble. That they did where he was in the Shield gear, and Roman basically was like, "You did this. This is your fault." And so they're like, "Wow, Seth was right."
It's like when they had that match, which is outside of when him and Solo lost to the Usos in that tag match last year, where Jay pinned him. That's the only other time Roman has lost a match during his championship run in those last few years. Because Seth won that by DQ because Roman lost his cool during a match and hit him with a chair. And so Seth won the match, but he didn't win the title because it was a disqualification. That was a fun feud because Seth was playing all the mind games with Roman. So, I love this. It makes sense. I know some people are worried that means that, does it mean Seth's going to try to stab Cody in the back? Hopefully not. That would be stupid. Yeah, it's like
people are saying the Authority is going to come back because Seth is going to screw over and it's going to make Cody an ultimate babyface. I'm like, how more ultimate babyface can you get at this point?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, they're pretty much laying out the blueprint. I mean, he was making it clear, like, you're like, yes, okay, I understand why you wanted to face, but this time you need to win, which is what everyone's saying.
Right.
Outside of for the people who, for some stupid fucking reason, want Roman to keep the title for a couple more months. Like, no, it's like I'm tired of Roman having the title. It's
and also Roman not losing it.
Him passing Hogan won't. What's that going to do? Nobody's going to fucking care. Nobody fucking cares if he has a longer title reign than Hogan.
Hey guys, remember when Roman lost the title at Fastlane? Will never be said. I'm sorry. It's got to be Mania. Like, you don't have the longest reign since I can remember of the main championship end at, whatever, I can't think of some.
It's like they're doing everything to stack against Cody even more than last year, because now you got The Rock involved, and The Rock it's like it's going to try to fuck Cody over. It's like, so I think that would be a very stupid move to do that. I know some people are worried because you never know with WWE, but hopefully Triple H will not make another stupid decision. And it's like, he makes a lot of good decisions. He's not perfect. He's made, some decisions I don't agree with, but he's right more often than he's wrong when it comes to the booking these last few years. So we shall see. I think, that definitely is going to lead into like whatever's going to happen when they're on Grayson Waller's interview show at Elimination Chamber.
Cyber Sunday, hell, let's have him lose it there. Remember that? That was fun. Mm-hmm. That gimmick lasted all of 3 seconds. It was dumb when I saw it, but might as well have Roman lose it there. Like, it's just you can't, like, a couple months later, like, see the SummerSlam.
The only way that this story should end is it's like he lost at Mania last year. He went through a bunch of crap to get his rematch. It's like only for it's like for him to lose again. No, that makes no fucking sense.
The only way I can accept a Seth heel turn and try to do that is if shout out to Aaron Turner and just overbook the crap out of it and have Stone Cold come down and make the save and then Cody win.
Yeah,
like at this point, but I don't want any. Unfortunately, there will be, but I don't want any distractions. I just want Cody to win clean, without any help from anybody.
Everyone wants Cody to win clean. Like whether it's just like Seth another babyface to stop the blood from interfering, or Rock tries to help Roman, but it backfires, or this is a swerve and that Rock's only pretending to be on Roman's side, and then he stops the Solo and Jimmy from bailing Roman out and leaves him high and dry so that Cody beats him clean as a sheet, and they begin to build toward Rock and Roman having the proper one-on-one match that we want to happen. It's like I do want that to happen, but it's like I just didn't want it at the expense of Cody. That was my big issue. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I thought this promo was great, and it made sense that he would do that. It's like you said, he goes, it's like he knows Roman better than anybody, and that he feels responsible because he taught Roman so much, and that he feels partially responsible for what Roman has turned into the last couple of years. So, it's plus Roman's been disparaging the fuck out of him as well. So it's like it would make no sense for Seth to just because they've already done the thing. It's like they've shown that it's like, even though like he said, he goes, hey, look, we haven't seen eye to eye, but we've reached a mutual respect. We're not friends, but we respect each other. So it's not like he's all buddy with Cody all of a sudden. It's like
right. No, and honestly, I will say this: I really like that Liv Morgan Zoe match.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was solid.
Liv looked good. Zoe looked really good in defeat. I hope they give Zoe more, because it's like they shut off really hot with being aligned with Trish and feuding with Becky going into SummerSlam last year. But since then, it's kind of like they haven't figured out what to do with her after she split with Trish.
That's what I was afraid of. Remember, as soon as it was over, I was like, all right, she went out, she took out Trish, gave her gave her the rub.
Now instead she's
And
become
then
buddy
just-
with Shayna Baszler instead. So it's like well,
But so it's whatever on that.
Still was a good match.
Solid Becky, Rhea. Why are we having an elimination chamber? We already know who's going to win it. Like,
I get why they want to make it. You can tease Rhea versus Becky without making it so blatantly obvious that it's going to be Becky and Rhea.
Mhm.
It's like it's like teases are fine, but it's gotten to the point, especially between what happened between Rhea and Becky at the press conference last week, and then the other stuff that's happened Raw. It's like a big like red siren saying Becky and Rhea is happening WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. It's like get ready for it. It's like
Right.
so it's like, but it's like they should. I think that's also why they're putting so much star power into the chamber, because then it's, especially Bianca being in there and Liv being in there, because Becky and Bianca have history as enemies, and now they're friends. Liv wants her revenge on Rhea. It's like, so their storyline, she's going to have to go through some of the best women in order to get to Rhea. So it's like, but yeah, it's I think they should have done it. It's like they should have found a way to kind of do these confrontation teases without making it so blatantly obvious that it's going to happen. So make people like, well, why are we having the match at this point? Well,
it's fun. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I have something.
Guys, I'm sorry, but wrestling is predetermined, but the action is awesome. So there you go.
I don't care that it's very obvious at this point, because it'll be cool just watching Becky win the chamber match, and then when it's Rhea and her versus Rhea is official, those promos are going to be fire.
Mm-hmm. So I guess Shinsuke and Drew versus Sammy and Cody next week for a tag team?
Maybe, because originally right now it's Drew and Cody are having a one-on-one match. I don't see that happening because neither one of them is going to be taking a loss right now.
No.
So I doubt Cody and Seth is either actually going to happen or we're going to have a clean finish.
Okay.
So
what was I going to say? Oh,
God,
what? I guess Jey Uso's not going to win the IC title. Speaking about like losing a big title.
Yeah, it's like there's still, because there was word months ago that he's got visa issues and he can't travel abroad just yet. So people were wondering if he was gonna, because people were thinking, well, if the visa issues solved, Jay versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title Elimination Chamber makes sense, but nope, it's scheduled for Raw next week. We'll see if that actually happens. If it does, Jay is definitely not winning the title on Raw. He's not beating Gunther on Raw.
It's the exact same with the Roman discussion. You're not going to have him lose at like Cyber Sunday or some shit like that, and then you're going to have Gunther's title reign in on a random Raw. Like the only time I thought that might have happened was with Chad Gable. Like that was the only time I'm like, oh, they might, but they're not going to. Like
the Raw after Mania is the only Raw that would make sense, because it would, it's like all eyes are going to be on it. It's like, but yeah, if he's still on a historic title reign. It's like he shattered Honky Tonk Man's record. He's over 600 days as Intercontinental Champion. The only way a historic reign like that should end, it should be at WrestleMania. It's like the other question is who's going to do it.
Right. Tushka. Predetermined to fuck. Yeah.
Because it's like Gunther's reign as Intercontinental Champion has been fucking awesome, but I'm ready for him to move on from Intercontinental and go into the world title picture after Mania.
Yeah. There was some weird, I saw some weird, crazy booking where R-Truth ends up defeating Damian Priest to get the title after he cashes it in, and and then he loses it the next night or whatever. Cause I could see him acting like it's the 24/7 title or some shit, if they give it to him. Because
people are wondering if Drew does win the chamber and it's just Drew and Seth at Mania, that if Drew beats him, will Damian cash in right afterwards and take the title from Drew, basically steal from him. Kind of like what Io did to Bianca at SummerSlam, where Bianca won the title back, but Io cashed in right afterwards and beat her for it. so she only had the title for like less than 10 minutes.
Right. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, I just don't know where they're. I mean, R-Truth is too entertaining to not keep doing stuff with.
Yep.
I just don't want I don't know. I just don't want Awesome Truth to win the tech to be the one.
Yeah, no, I don't want either. It's like it.
That's where we're kind of heading.
Truth and Miz don't need titles at this point. They're such old veterans. It's like they're already over at this point without titles. They don't need them. Give them to someone who deserves them, like DIY or British Strong Style. There's plenty of tag teams that haven't gotten a chance to wear gold in a while that should, like, you know, DIY and British Strong Style. It's like hell. It's like you got so many great tag teams coming up. You know, like Pretty Deadly's still there. You know, it's like so. I don't think that's necessary. I can see them doing a tag match at Mania, but maybe not for the titles. You know, it's like a Fire Revenge. Who knows? It's like it's gonna be weird to see what happens with the title match at the Elimination Chamber if Finn and Damian are gonna keep the tag titles until Mania. So we'll see.
Yeah, I did like that entrance. Now that BFAB is with Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. You know, they all did the fist pump and stuff like that. Like, I just thought that presentation was really good.
Yeah, that reminds me. Everyone was shocked that like Reed lost Lashley, not because it, you know, it's like, it's not like, because people were expecting, because Ronson Reed is from Australia, you would think that, you know, he'd be able to be at Elimination Chamber in Australia. So people were like, what the heck? Nothing against Lashley. You know, it's like people are like, well, like, you know, I see Lashley winning, makes sense. He's a big name still, but like, that's weird that Bronson may not be in. And then he cut this whole promo and went on social media about how, like, you know, he failed to let his family and his country down. I don't know if it's going to lead somewhere. I don't know if it's confirmed, but there's like whispers that, you know, there may be a family situation, whether pregnant wife or something else is why he may not be going to Elimination Chamber, which makes sense. And so, you know, that's understandable, but, you know, it's unfortunate that he's going to miss out because, you know, Rhea and Grayson Waller are going to be able to do stuff in front of their home country fans, which is great for them. So, yeah, it'd be a bummer if Bronson's going to miss out on Elimination Chamber.
Oh, we got a celebrity in the house. What up, Jackie Chan?
Bye, Jackie.
What up, Jackie? Thank you for joining. Like and subscribe. Enjoy the Patreon. It's all that fun stuff. All right. Don't get hurt, but we thank you for all that you do. Anyway. But yeah, no, there's another. This one.
LA Knight being in the chamber makes sense, especially with, it's like they're loading up the star power in this chamber, man.
Yeah.
I mean, both chambers, they're loading up the star power. That's why they did. And also, it makes sense that for both chambers, you got both Raw and SmackDown stars, because that makes the titles more important, that even the people on other brands want to get their hands on them, you know, because especially about how Roman has basically like trashed Seth in the world title lately, verbally. So you already got a loaded chamber. We've got Drew McIntyre, Orton, LA Knight, and
Good
Bobby
pun.
Lashley. That's pretty fucking loaded already.
Yeah.
So
loaded chamber. Good pun. Good job.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh,
You didn't even know. I don't think you realized what you just did.
No,
yeah.
I didn't, but yeah, it works.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, no, it's pretty. Yeah, I like the way Eliminate. Obviously, we were gonna watch it anyway, but you know, it kind of seems shaky there because they're like, you know, it's not gonna be Roman, not gonna be Rock. I would put it past one of those two still showing up with the Grayson Waller thing going on. So.
Yeah, I will not be surprised if Roman and The Rock crash the Grayson Waller effect when Seth and Cody are there at birth, because that would send the Rock and Roman showing up would send the crowd into frenzy, and it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now?
Right. Solid Raw.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm just every episode. I mean, if we just come so far from having these type of episodes where it's just like, that's a solid show.
And even though I still hate that it's 3 hours, it doesn't feel like it drags anymore. It's like this stuff happens. Like, I'd still like it if it just shrunk. Although with the way the roster is, I get maybe why Triple H might still keep it at 3 hours when it moves to Netflix, just to make sure everybody gets some TV time. We'll see.
There's going to be a lot of promo. There's going to be commercials, but it's going to be kind of like a pay-per-view type of commercial where they just promote a bunch of wrestling or WWE stuff. They
and if you're on the ad-free tier, you'll be able just to see what's actually going on.
Okay. On that. So cool. All right, let's move on to a stacked double show of AEW.
Yeah, Collision and Dynamite.
Yeah, stuff actually happened on both shows.
Yeah.
So here we go.
All right, here's what happened on this week's episodes of Collision and Dynamite for AEW. We'll start with Collision. On Collision, Blackpool Combat Club defeated the Luchadors of CMML. Then FTR came out afterwards to confront Blackpool Combat Club, setting up a new feud between the two teams, which I'm all for. Then we had Daniel Garcia defeating Shane Taylor. Eddie Kingston was interviewed backstage. He called out the Young Bucks as despicable human beings for what they did to Darby and Sting after they won the tag titles. And then said that he's challenging Bryan Danielson to a title match with his titles on the line at Revolution. And he's added in a stipulation that when he wins, Daniel Bryan has to shake his hand in a sign of respect afterwards, which he knows Bryan will despise. Brian Cage defeated the Outriders in a handicap match. Afterwards, he and Hook got into it after he attacked the Chance the Mascot. Adam Coleman came out for an interview with Tony Schiavone, talking about wanting to get his hands on Christian Cage again for the TNT title. But then Daniel Garcia came out and said that as much as he respects Adam, he wants to get a shot at Christian first. So after some back and forth, where Adam Copeland said that FTR speaks highly of him, which means a lot to him since he's friends with FTR, and that he makes him a deal that they'll have a one-on match on Dynamite, and the winner will get the first crack at Christian Cage and the TNT title, and Garcia accepts. Then we had Brody King taking on Mark Briscoe. Brody King picked up the victory. Afterwards, the House of Black beat down poor Mark Briscoe, and Julia Hart stabbed him in the head with a spike to leave him a bloody mess. The house always wins, as they said into the camera. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Kiera Hogan. Toni Storm defeated Queen Aminata. And in the main event, Orange Cassidy successfully defended the AEW International Championship by beating Tomohiro Ishii. After the match, the Undisputed Kingdom came out to attack, but Trent Beretta and Ishii teamed up to get the heels packing to help Orange Cassidy out to close out the show. So then we go to Dynamite. So Dynamite opened with the continuation of this new feud brewing between FTR and the Blackpool Combat Club. John Moxley taking on Dax Harwood. John Moxley picked up the victory by choking out Dax into unconsciousness. He kept the hold on afterwards, bringing out Cash Wheeler to attack, and then Claudio came out, and he and Moxley left FTR laying, standing tall. Setting up a tag match between the two teams next week. Renee Paquette was interviewing the Don Callis family backstage, where Don Callis revealed that for Revolution, Tanosuke Takeshita will be taking on fellow adjunct Don Callis family member Will Ospreay, and that no matter who wins, the Don Callis family wins. Then we had Wardlow squashing Barrett Brown with Adam Cole on commentary. We saw footage of the Young Bucks arriving on their private jet to get to the arena today, and they were still wearing the blood-stained white suits from last week when they laid out Darby and Allin and Sting. Nice touch there. The number one contender match for the TNT title between Adam Copeland and Daniel Garcia unfortunately ended in no contest when Christian sent out his lackeys Killswitch and Nick Wayne to attack, causing the match to be thrown out. Daddy Magic was on commentary. After they attacked, Christian Cage and Mother Wayne also came out. Daddy Magic came in to try to help the faces, but Killswitch took him out. Adam Copeland recovered and went after Christian, but a low blow from Mrs. Wayne turned the tide and allowed Christian to do a concerto on Edge, with Garcia chasing them off afterwards. Then we had a video package hyping up the upcoming three-way match for the world title between Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Hangman and Page. Samoa Joe came out, cut a promo. He wants to face the best people, but Hangman Page kind of ruined everything with the draw last week, and feels that he shouldn't have to face both those guys because neither one won the match. Both Hangman and Swerve came out to offer rebuttals to hype up the title match for Revolution. Then we had Time with Toni Storm premiering a new movie of hers, Wet Ink, which showing her going to a tattoo parlor and getting a new tattoo to replace the one that she got with Deonna Purrazzo back when they used to be friends. Continue being much more heelish this time, setting up their title as the title build to their title match at Revolution continues. The Young Bucks came out still wearing the bloodstained white suits, and they wrestled with them against Top Flight. The Bucks picked up the victory. Afterwards, Tony's finally got in the ring to talk to him. The Bucks got all mad at Tony for disparaging them on commentary, said that that's potentially a breach of contracts, and they said that he was fined $1,000. They shoved him down and then threatened to give him an EVP trigger before Darby Allin ran out to chase them off. He talked trash about the Young Bucks about how like they didn't want him to come to AEW, but an EVP with brains saw the potential in Darby. And he's not talking about Kenny Omega, which prompted a loud Cody chant from the fans because they knew exactly who he was talking about. And made it clear that they will face the Young Bucks in Sting's final match with the tag team titles on the line at Revolution. And it will be a tornado tag team rules match on top of that. Then we had Willow Nightingale taking on her former friend Sky Blue with Stokely Hathaway on commentary. At one point, Sky Blue hit powerbomb, flipping powerbomb on Willow. That caused Stokely to distract the ref, so she wouldn't get pinned, and that allowed Willow to recover and get the victory. And then in our main event was a Texas death match between Orange Cassidy and Matt Taven of the Undisputed Kingdom. Used all kinds of stuff. Very Valentine-themed hardcore match with Orange Cassidy pulling out thumbtacks from a box of Valentine chocolates. And Trent Beretta even showed up with a lead pipe hidden in a bouquet of flowers. Eventually, Orange was able to pick up the victory. And despite the Undisputed Kingdom trying to interfere in the match with Roderick Strong coming after Orange, but Trent took a knee to the face for him, and that allowed Orange to stay up, and Taven couldn't make the 10 count, giving Orange the victory as the feud between Best Friends and Undisputed King continues. So that's all that happened on this week's episodes of AEW TV.
Do you like that the Undisputed Kingdom takes losses, or just if it's going to be a loss, to be like this, to where it was a 10 count, not like a pin?
Yeah, I'm okay with it because it's Taven. It's like it's not like
Wardlow or Roddy.
Because Wardlow and Roddy are getting built up big time right now. So it's like it's like nothing against Taven and Bennett and Mike Bennett, but it's like they're like on the low rung of the lackey pole. So I don't think it's that bad. Because it's all about they're trying to soften up Orange for Roddy at the pay-per-view. It's like like they've been trying to make deals with people to because it's like they're trying to hurt Orange as much as possible before his match with Roddy, so make it easier for Roddy to win. Right.
I love the trend of AEW partnering up with other promotions just to beat them every single time you have another promotion in. with CMLL and
I don't understand it.
And then
it's
TNA, and then even New Japan. Like,
what was the point of the whole thing? It's like with CMLL, if Black Combat Club wins every fucking match, it's like nothing against Moxley and Claudio, and now it's like I love those guys, but it's like, come on, it's like you're making them look bad.
Right. Thoughts on the exchanging of words between Swerve and Samoa and Hangman?
That was some good promo work from all three men, I thought.
Okay.
Agreed. They're definitely sowing the seeds of. They're definitely doing a Stone Cold Bret Hart thing with Swerve and Hangman, where they understand the fans are behind Swerve, and it's like they like Swerve and they want to cheer him. So they're doing a slow double turn with Hangman becoming more heelish, while Swerve will eventually start to become more face. Because they kind of teased that with him telling Persona, like, don't fucking interfere in my match against Hangman. I want to beat him fucking clean, so that he doesn't have any fucking excuses. So it's like it's getting there. It's like it's going to be one hell of a title match. It's like those three can. It's like three of them. Triple threat matches can be tricky. Every time you have multiple people fighting in one match at the same time. Like with no DQ, no count out. But those three guys, that's probably going to be a banger title match.
Oh, dude, inject that triple threat in my veins. It's going to be so good. But yeah, that's shout out to Strong Style when they had their reaction to the press conference, and they brought up AEW, and they were kind of what we are. It's just like bookings all over the place, but they were just like, well, Swerve Strickland though. They still take a shout out to Swerve of the work that he's doing with that. But I really moving on. I really like the way they're presenting the Young Bucks right now. I really like.
They're killing it with this current heel persona they're doing right now. I mean, the fact that they're still wearing the bloodstained suits from last week, it's just like I was like, it's like they're just trolling, and then going for like the mega heat by threatening to hurt Tony Schiavone of all people. It's like Jesus, it's like you want the nuclear heat, guys, don't you? It's like,
yeah.
I actually thought they were gonna. I was like, when they showed it, I was like, oh fuck! It's like they're about to get Dominic Don Callis level heat with that. It's like,
yeah, it's just really good stuff there.
That match being insane.
Edge being Edge. I mean, Daniel Garcia is like kind of coming into his own, but then again, he's still kind of.
I like what they're doing here. They're really giving this is one of the storylines I really like, is that it's like, Garcia was going through a rough period. He was losing those matches to Continental Classic, kind of recover at the end. And then, Daddy Magic has been, had his back. He's become friends with FTR and has been teaming with them. And, it's like they're slowly been building him up into a believable title contender, which is, I think is really good. Because really, does Edge need the TNT title? No. So what I think is going to happen, here's my guess. I know people were expecting maybe like the rubber match between Edge and Christian to happen at the pay-per-view.
Right.
There's two ways they could go it. Garcia gets the title shot against Christian at the pay-per-view. Edge helps him win. It's for a big FU to Christian to take away one of the things that he values most, which is the TNT title at this point. And that will force Christian to finally give Edge the rubber match after he causes him to lose the title.
Give me what I want. Shout out to Batista.
Or Garcia beats him before the pay-per-view and they do Edge Christian 3 at the pay-per-view. I doubt that. I think it would be nice to see Garcia get a huge win and win the TNT title over Christian at the pay-per-view. That would be a big thing for him. Because I'm all for it at this point. It's like in the crowd, it's like the fans have really gotten behind him. So like this whole story, this whole trajectory that he's been going through. It's like Tony. It's like when you do stuff right, it works. It's like you gotta be consistent, man. That's what That's what everybody complains about. It's like is the consistency. It's like this is a storyline that's working. Like how it's like it's like you really put in the investment and build, and it makes sense. Then it's like the fans are going to get rewarded. Just shaking my laptop here too much. Sorry.
See what you're doing, Tony? You're making us have earthquakes in our So, yeah, I mean, I'm really interested. Obviously,
Pay-per-view is looking really
Blackpool
good.
Combat Club versus FTR. Yes, give me
Yes,
that.
please.
Yes, please. And thank you. Finally getting Will Ospreay. So this could be a launching point with Mercedes and Okada and Will. And if the Young Bucks if the Young Bucks, what they're doing, Garcia kind of getting there, Swerve being hot as all can get out, Smojo being the most professional, awesome person ever.
I don't think Swerve's going to win the title just yet.
No.
I think Joe's going to retain by taking out Hangman, and then Swerve will probably eventually get a one-on-one against Joe later.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Joe just won the title from MJF, back in December. It wouldn't make sense. They want to. It's like he's going to hold the title for at least a little bit before dropping it to somebody else. So it's like Hangman can afford to take the L if that's what's going to happen. But the rest of the card's looking great. I mean,
it's one thing about AEW. They know how to book. They know how to do pay-per-views.
Timeless Tony against Deanna. That has good potential to be one of the best women's title matches AEW's had in a while. Mm-hmm. And then just think about it, Mercedes on the way too. So it's like, like I said, we're hopeful that the women's division is going to continue to improve.
Hire Scott D'Amore.
Really,
just have him pay him all the money just to
go get him.
Women's.
Go get him and let him help. Let him help take the booking burden load off you.
Speaking about hiring, QT Marshall's back with AEW. Did you see that?
Yeah, I heard about that. But it's like not in a wrestler role. It looks like he's going to be behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
Maybe he can help with the booking too. Who knows? So it's like.
It's like one of those like NFL where like they're over the cap limit, so they had to like let him go just to redo their deal, type of thing. I don't know, whatever.
I like the feud that's been built so far between Tony and Deanna. I think the only problem is I don't see Deanna winning the title, which kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing that stinks sometimes when you have these type of debuts or like someone coming over from another company or something like that, where they're built. And people know
it would have been better.
They immediately put them in the title picture, and then they lose, and then they're done.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my worry is that where's Deanna going to go? It's like because like it'd be better if they'd save this feud like for a couple months from now. Like have Deanna feud with somebody else and have Tony feud with someone else and save this feud for later. But it's like Tony sometimes can't help himself. It's like I gotta do this because this match is gonna be awesome. Yes, it's gonna be awesome, but it's kind of too soon because Deanna can only go down after this. Unless you put her into the TBS picture against Julia Hart.
Yeah. Same thing. Jay White comes in hot. Put him in the title picture. Loses. Now we're just bang, bang,
because
bang.
When Mercedes comes in, it's only going to be a matter of time before Mercedes wins the women's championship. She's not going to be winning the TBS championship. She's going to be winning the women's championship.
You don't bring in Mercedes Monet to smile and kiss babies and shake hands
because the TBS is like the Intercontinental. It's like their version of a women's Intercontinental title. It's like it's the secondary women's championship. The AEW women's championship is the numero uno, of the women's division. Yeah. It's like nothing against what Julie's done. It's like Julie's
hurt right now too. It's just reported.
It's kind of like they haven't been doing much with her as a champion. It's like
because she's hurt.
I heard that she might be hurt. That's why she hasn't wrestled in a bit. So they're kind of like resting her. It also would explain why she hasn't been feuding with someone for a bit for the title either since the last pay-per-view. So, it's like, this wasn't as good as last week's Dynamite, but it still was a good Dynamite. So it's like they're on a roll.
Yeah. Anything else about AEW?
Let me see. Let me go back over the notes. No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I think it's very interesting the Ospreay versus Takeshita. What's going to happen? Because I have a feeling that Ospreay's association with Downcast family is probably going to end as a result of this match.
Yeah, he's going to come in as a face at this point. I think.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, and then also, if only I ever go back and watch Collision because I do want to watch that Kingston Brian Danielson match. I do want to see that next week for that. But no, like I said, so far the 2 weeks in a row, AEW's been putting out decent, solid product.
Yep. Absolutely.
So if this gives me hope with the signings that they just did, that they're not gonna, they're not gonna get lost in the shuffle, which they
Yeah,
shouldn't.
no, this build toward Revolution has been really good so far.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
This is one of the best builds they've done for toward a pay-per-view in a while, because like there's a lot of good storylines going on for a change.
All right, and so we will move on to the Roxanne Perez hour. I mean NXT recap. I'm gonna keep coming up with different bits. It's just I'm not gonna let it go.
I like it.
Yeah, make a better shirt.
Really. All right, here I am once again, recapping the events of this week's episode of NXT. Show kicked off with a bang, literally, as Noam Dar and Ora Mensah were shown getting ready for their tag team match against Robert Stone and Von Wagner, but the Faces attacked the members of Meta-4 and fought them right out to the ring for their match. Although getting the jump attack unfortunately didn't help them, as Meta-4 was able to pick up the victory, with Noam Dar getting a pin on Von Wagner. Then we had a segment with Chase U, showing that Chase U was back in business, with him getting his pudding back, and even Duke Hudson getting his trophy back. They gave props to JC Jane for helping keep the Chase U going. And then Adriana Rizzo of the D'Angelo family showed up, and JC Jane gave her the money that was owed, with some interest on top. And she said that to let D'Angelo know that Chase U was interested in getting a shot at the tag team titles once they dealt with the Wolf Dogs. Then we had a gauntlet match with Ridge Holland taking on all three members of Gallus, one after the other. He was able to defeat Wolfgang first, and then took on Mark Coffey next. But then ended up getting disqualified, and the match kind of went south. They all tried to beat him up, but Ridge got a hold of a steel chair and beat all three guys down with it, but didn't look too happy with himself afterwards. Lex King has talked trash to Von Wagner and Robert Stone backstage, as Lex King continues to try to piss everybody off on the NXT roster. Then we saw backstage that the No Quarter Catch crew was looking for the Heritage Cup. Noam Dar came in and told them to keep their hands off its baby. Charlie Dempsey and them made it clear that they're looking to take the cup from him. Then we had Lula Vice taking on Tatum Paxley. More follow-up from the NXT Women's title match at Vengeance Day. This time, Lula Vice got the victory. Lyra Valkyria came out to help Tatum to the back when it looked like she was injured, but probably was not. Then we had, as Lyra was taking Tatum into the back to make sure she was okay, Shotzi, of all people, showed up saying that she talked to Ava Rain and that she's going to get a NXT Women's title shot against Lyra on next week's show. And now after that, Paxley woke up and making it clear that she was listening the whole time, talking about her title match against Shotzi next week. And then we had Adriana Rizzo taking on Jada Parker of Out of the Mud. Rizzo put up a good fight, but Jada Parker picked up the victory in this match. Dijak was shown watching the footage of Joe Gacy costing him his match against Ilya Dragunov from last week's show. Dijak is really pissed off and pulled a duffel bag out and started to go look for Gacy. Then we had Carmelo Hayes taking on Joe Gacy. Carmelo picking up the victory with nothing but net. After the match, Dijak came out and attacked Gacy, laid him out with a nightstick, and then put him in a straitjacket. To continue that feud. Back in the women's locker room, Carmen Petrovic and Kalana Jonan got into trash talking with Shakira Jackson, Last Legend of Met-4. Set up more of the feuds. Then next we saw Roxanne Perez in the locker room, still pissed off, rightly so, as Josh would say, about Lower Vice ruining her one-on-one match against Lyra at the pay-per-view. And then now Shotzi rolls in and gets a title match ahead of her when she should be getting a rematch. Ren Sinclair spoke up, says she knows how Roxanne feels, but Roxanne didn't appreciate that and ended up punching her in the face. Obafemi came out to cut a promo about beating Dragon Lee for the NXT title. Said that Dragon Lee was first casualty and his title reign won't be the last. Alexis King came out, basically said that he helped soften up the competition that allowed Femi to win the North American title in the first place and the breakout tournament. So taking credit for where he's getting, basically challenged him to a match for the North American title next week, and Femi accepted. Former tag team partners Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs were shown getting into a fight backstage. Ava Raine pulled them apart and said that they'll settle their issues in the ring next week. Then Kiana James came out for a match against newcomer Brinley Reese. Kiana James picking up the victory. After Ava talked to Shawn Michaels and made Briggs vs. Jensen official, Roxanne came up to her. She asked if she did pinch Ren Sinclair, and Perez admitted that she did, and that she clearly wants to get a rematch against Lyra, and says they'll talk about it, and makes clear to Roxanne to lay off the fisticuffs on the people backstage. And then we got to the main event, NXT Tag Team Title match as the D'Angelo family, Tony D and Stacks are challenged by the Wolf Dogs, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, winners of the Dusty Cup. Excellent main event, back and forth action, great near falls. In the end, the Wolf Dogs picked up the victory as Braun speared and pinned Stacks as Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. The Wolf Dogs are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. What's that mean for Braun with his eminent arrival on the main roster? We shall find out. That's all that happened this week on NXT.
All right, so I'm not going to start out talking about Roxanne because we have to save the best for last.
Okay.
But I will bring up one female wrestler that I'm like, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention.
Yeah.
Jada Parker.
Yes.
She's been getting there, but this match was like,
She looked
got
good.
something. They got something here.
Yeah, no, she's. I also I was really impressed with how she looked against Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely got something in her.
Yeah, there was a lot of Shawn Michaels in his bag with this one.
Yeah, keep an eye on her. I think she's going to get a serious push.
Just kind of give us a little history about her, because I think for what I saw this past show, she's going to be a name we're going to be talking about years to come.
She's pretty new. She's only debuted the last couple months. She associated with the Out of the Mud tag team and Scripps. So it's like she's really just starting to get the exposure. But for what I saw in the mixed tag at Vengeance Day and this match, it's like, she's looking good already. So it's like they definitely have another potential stud, so to speak, in the women's division if she keeps this up.
Was that just a random match between Mello and Joey?
I can't remember. I think Gacy may have done something last week. I can't remember, to piss Mello off why they were having the match. It's just something to do until Ilya comes back, because Carmella obviously wants one more shot at Ilya in the NXT title. Mm-hmm. But of course, just when he least expected, Trick's going to return for his sweet revenge.
Yeah. So, I like the way they're kind of doing Gacy now, but now they're kind of burying him at the same time.
I don't know if they're burying him, but it's like they're definitely showing. I definitely like this version of Gacy where he's just like completely cray-cray, like Mankind level, like cray-cray.
Right.
And it's working, because like Dijak's getting frustrated because he's like, he just doesn't know what to do, because like he's already beaten him in a match, and he's like trying to hurt him, and Gacy's just like, this is awesome, man. It's like Mankind, like old school Mankind enjoyed the pain, and it just like was like, bring it, baby. That's why he was such a great opponent for the Undertaker, because it's like, it's like Undertaker was like just doing all kinds of stuff, and Mick was taking insane, sick, crazy motherfucking bumps. It just kept on coming. So it's like, so I'm all good for that. Wolf Dogs. Wolf Dogs.
I was going to move on to them.
I did not. I was very. I will admit, I was very skeptical when they paired Corbin and Braun together. But it is. Thank you, HBK, because this pairing has been gold, and now they literally have gold around their waist. They're the NXT Tag Team Champions, and as Corbin said before the match, he hasn't had a championship around his waist in 6 years. 6 years.
Because of bad booking. The guy is good. I'm sorry. I'm like that weird person that likes Baron and knows he has that. And I've seen him like do his own like social media and stuff like that. Yeah. He has personality. He's one of the safest, best workers in the ring. They couldn't book him for shit for 6 years.
Him and Braun have such great chemistry. They play off each other so well. I love that. He's like, it's like, you're over to the Wolf Dog's name, right? It's like, all right, if we win, I'll say the name.
Yeah. Because Baron works very well as being like the begrudging straight man and Braun being kind of a quirky, wacky guy, even though he's like a badass. It's kind of a different character. But Braun, get ready to you're going to earn your paycheck going forward, because you can't keep him off the main roster. And he's too gold because he has gold. And if you just stop the Wolf Dog situation right now, you just can't. This has a lot of steam behind it. So Braun, get ready. And Braun and Baron might be on doing the NXT championships and just doing stuff. They might just be a double champion if they book it correctly.
Yeah. It's like I can't even see what's gonna happen next. It's like the D'Angelo family had a good run with the tag titles. It's like they won them. It's like they've had them twice. It's like the second time they lost them. So, but I'm very to see Chase U is going to looking for a shot because they're the ones that beat the D'Angelo family. Although they didn't get to hold the tag titles on for very long because Tony and Stacks won the back pretty quickly. But and plus you got Axiom, Nathan Frazier waiting in the ring, so it's like there's some really cool matchups in the tag division on NXT that Braun and Corbin can deal with while they're holding the tag titles. We'll see how long they hold the titles. It's like it feels like it's like Sean's like, I still want to keep Braun for just a little bit longer. It's like, okay, Triple H, okay, I'll share him. I know you want him. It's like
it's gonna be kind of what Judgment Day did for about 3 months, where they're gonna be appearing on multiple NXT and then wherever Braun is, and you're gonna have Baron, because Baron Corbin was a main roster guy for 6 years, for multiple years. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have him just showing back up. He might get back to that Baron Corbin heat just because the main roster fans are like, oh, Baron Corbin, he sucks. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So
they're still making Lola Vice look good, even though she, it's like they're definitely high on her. I like the development in the Lyra Tatum Paxley Stalker storyline, where like Lyra's kind of like feeling a little sympathy for Tatum, she's a little cray-cray. It's like she hasn't turned into bad cray-cray yet, which could happen depending on how she treats Paxley. So it's like, we'll see. It's like,
that's just going to a match at some point.
It is. It's like, I don't be if something goes wrong and she like causes Paxley to turn on her, it's like that she could lose the title because of that. So it's like, it's like, because it's like as we're talking about, it's like Roxanne wants a rematch, damn it. And I love that she's standing up for herself, because she's like,
we're not there yet. We're gonna get there. I don't mean to stop you, but I want to put all my focus on Roxanne. So anything I was getting ready to say, anything else on the show before we move on to the Golden Goose?
I like what they're doing with Lexus King, where he's just being the dick heel and he's pissing everybody off.
He's Lexus King. This is exactly what he needed.
All the mic, he's really getting really good on the mic. I like what they're doing with him.
And he's a Regal guy, so they're going.
Yeah. And speaking of Regal guys, Regal's son Charlie Dempsey, he should win the NXT Cup from Noam Dar, because honestly, Noam Dar, like, he's pretty good as a heel. I'm kind of tired of him and the NXT Cup bullshit, because it's like, every time he's defended the title for the last like several times, Metaphor finds a way to fucking help him cheat to win. It's like it's like the bloodline helping Roman win. It's become really freaking predictable.
Mhm.
So I'm all for Gulak and company trying to do it. So I will not be surprised if Charlie Dempsey, son of William Regal, takes the NXT Heritage Cup from Noam Dar because, well, who his father is and where he's from. So it's
right.
so I want that to happen because I think that would be a good step forward for him because he's a really talented wrestler. So it's like I think they're about ready to give him a little bit of a push. He's kind of been in the background a little bit for a while. The pairing with Gulak made sense. I like the little stable that Gulak's developed. So you're gonna keep an eye on that.
Drew, nothing against Drew, but Drew's always the guy when he pops up. I'm like, oh yeah, him. He's still around. Just because he's been like bounced around from main roster to NXT for so much. Is he doing like coaching now, pretty much, or are they?
I think Drew does a lot of coaching behind the scenes these days.
Yeah. Okay. So shall we move on to the Golden Goose?
Yes, let's talk about
Okay.
Roxanne.
This was a really fun episode. I love the development with her just kind of
Yes.
getting an edge just because she's just like, all right, that's it. I'm finishing. She's finishing her story.
Yep.
Okay. With that and just kind of just taking at this point, she's like, I'm done. I'm tired of making friends and all this other crap. I want what I deserve. And some people keep getting in front of me.
Yeah, no, it's great. She's not taking any crap. I like the attitude. I mean, she's still a babyface, but she's got like an edge to her now. It's like we're like, don't fuck with me.
Right.
And her reasons for being upset make total sense. I'd be upset if it's like I had a match against the champion. It was supposed to be 1-on-1. This Lola Vice comes in, cashes in her Money in the Bank style contract, completely messes the whole thing up. And it's so and now all of a sudden Shotzi just gets to walk in and get a title match against Lyra before I even get my rematch. No, it's like no, BS. Ava, what's up? So I like that she went to Ava. Was like what's up? It's like why is Shotzi getting a title match ahead of me? It's like where's my rematch?
Right. And then she's slapping people all over the place and just not taking. She's like, I'm tired. She's tired of it.
They already advertised that because of what happened with her and Red, she's going to have a one-on-one match with Red next week, which was part of the taping. So yeah, I like it. I like what they're doing. It's like Roxanne's working her way to get her the rematch that we both want because it's like I want them to have that rematch. So it's just one-on-one and then let them really fucking cook. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's gonna be. I mean, it's already kind of a fun match, even though it had a bunch of other like booking crap involved with it, the last one. But you knew it wasn't gonna be just a one and done. You couldn't because
the way they protected her, where like Lola took the pin and not Roxanne, it was pretty clear that they're protecting Roxanne a bit to set up a rematch.
And right now, you don't have that third female wrestler at this point because Tiffany's on the main roster, Cora's hurt. So you really don't have that other. You have other female wrestlers, but you don't have them on that level.
Alliance, I think, is out injured again. I don't think it's serious, but she's been off the show for a couple weeks, so hopefully it's not too serious. She just got back from an ACL, so
hopefully they don't rush it. But the way the way I'll go back to it. The way Jada Parker looked, they're gonna put a lot of rockets behind.
She's definitely. Don't be surprised if they build. She's being slowly built up to be a contender. I will not be surprised.
She looked good.
Yeah, she looked
good.
Yeah. A lot of people I saw online were like, I see you, Miss Parker. It's like you look good.
Yeah. She's never be as good as Roxanne, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. And also, Kiana James is looking. They're trying to build Kiana James back up. She's looking to get her hands on.
She was the one that faced Roxy and Roxanne. Roxanne.
She was the one who feuded with Roxanne for a bit. They had
that cage match.
They had a street fight, and then they had the cage match where Izzy, Kiana's new buddy, Izzy Dame, helped her screw Roxanne over, beat her.
That cage match was just ugh.
Yeah, that was the worst match of that card, which sucked. Because Roxanne is awesome, and Kiana James actually is a really solid wrestler. She's I don't know if I would say she's great yet, but she's good. So it's like that cage match was a massive disappointment.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anything else?
NXT is cooking right now, man.
Another solid week of wrestling is
Yeah.
like even for both companies. Any update with? So, any crazy situation going on with TNA since now it's been let the dust settle with the Scott?
No,
situation?
the only thing that came out is that a bunch of the wrestlers sent a letter to the higher ups, voicing their concern about what D'Amore being fired.
Is Anthem? Isn't it
Anthem? Yeah. Just trying to get some, like we don't maybe know the whole story about the firing, but we're very concerned about where the company's going. We just want open communication. So basically, it was kind of like make a little like, talk to us. It's like
right
because it's like because we're not happy about this.
No.
So it's like
it came into left field for us, but apparently, according to the reports, Scott saw it. There was a writing on the wall, but still, we still don't know why, because it wasn't like they were kind of on a nice little. They were kind of on a nice little.
Yeah, I guess it's like something changed, and so that's why word is that he tried to make an offer to buy the company from Anthem, and it was a really good offer, but they turned him down. And so that's when he knew his days were numbered. So it wasn't like he was blindsided. He had a feeling it was coming.
Right.
So yeah, it's a very unusual. It's a very weird situation. It's like nobody knows exactly what the real motivations are behind this. So it's like everyone's kind of concerned about how TNA is going to be, because people have been watching it saying that it's been going in a really good direction for a while, and so. Now, who knows with D'Amore gone?
Right.
So
who knows? But all right. Well, that about does it for us.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for joining us to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. If you enjoy this, please join our Patreon, patreon.com/RuckusEV, to kind of join along with us as far as production and any other shows and stuff like that. We're kind of one of that type of channel / community of, hey, you latch on with us and we'll kind of run you through as far as how to do your own show, and if you have shows ideas. So shout out to Aaron who's doing his bracket breakdown. I forget the name. Sorry, but the bracket challenge. Thank you, my brain, for realizing that. And then obviously Justin has and myself and Justin have doing this show along with our other sport shows and gaming shows that we put out as well. But yeah, we're totally open to having other people join up and do their own shows and make this channel like a real big kind of community thing, which is awesome. And also too, our Discord, our Ruckus Discord as well. But all the links are down below if you want to do that. Join, as Bobby Burger says, join the rocket ship because we're heading to the moon, and we'd like you all to join us. So until then. On behalf of Justin, always thank you for all of your breakdowns and notes to get us through every episode. It's always nice and fun, and we will see you all next time.